Hello everyone, this is Old Steph. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be starting out our NASCAR 25 career journey. Now, I myself, I've made a couple references to it in the last two videos that were on the channel, but I am a big NASCAR fan, and although I don't agree with probably most of the decisions that modern day NASCAR makes,
Crank it up now, time to go.
I'm still a fan and decided to get the game here, so we're going to be playing a little career mode. So what's kind of interesting about the career mode in this game, if you're a Formula 1 fan, because I feel like that's the majority of what motorsports fans are now, rightfully so, in my opinion. Essentially what we start out in is like you have your Cup Series, which is essentially the equivalent to F1. Then you have the Xfinity Series, now going to be the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series in 2026, which is essentially Formula 2. And then you have the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, which is, I'd say, Formula 3, probably European Formula 3, something like that. And then you have ARCA, which is what you're seeing right now, which is essentially like Super Formula, but with I'd say less talented drivers and way more, way less exciting racing, to be honest with you. Like Super Formula, it might be a whole different thing compared to like F1, F3, F2, but it actually has some really good racing. But ARCA, I mean, outside of the super speedways, even the super speedways can get a little bit boring. Like, I think it was last year's Talladega ARCA race was just an absolute snooze fest. But essentially what you're seeing right now is what's called the Discovery Series. Unfortunately, I accidentally opened career mode almost immediately upon getting the game, and I didn't have anything for the recording set up at all. So I didn't catch the first part of it, but essentially Dale Earnhardt Jr. gives you this whole spiel about how you're going to be like, you have to make a name for yourself. And of course you have to. It's racing. You either make a name for yourself or you have a bunch of money. There's no in between. And then there was also this kind of cool little bit. Dale Earnhardt Jr., if you didn't know, he has a podcast called Dirty Mo Media, and there was this whole thing about him saying this race is called the Discovery Series. So essentially, the drivers in the top 10 get a shot at getting an opportunity in the ARCA Menards Series, which of course is the fourth candle to the main series, which is the NASCAR Cup Series. And of course I'm not commentating over this live. This is going to be kind of the theme of these videos. Going to be commentating over them as opposed to as opposed to commentating live, just because I like to focus on, you know, the actual racing portion. And you might be thinking to yourself, why do you need to concentrate so hard if you're only turning left? Well, you'll see later on in this video. I promise it's not just a skill issue, I promise. So we end up getting inside the top 10. Therefore, we get a shot in the ARCA Menards Series. And after this, it kind of happens off screen after we do a little bit of paint scheme work. But I did up the AI difficulty. I turned down the draft effect a little bit because it gets pretty crazy on the super speedways. Like, you can have the worst car in the entire field and still win if the AI is at like 98 and the drafting is at over 40. So I turned it down to 35 for the drafting on both super speedways and other tracks. And I turned the AI up to 101. So they start you out with a sponsor, which is kind of interesting. And you'll see it here, actually. The driver name is ISA. The driver that I didn't really make him up, but we're driving is ISA, who's notorious for being average at everything. So we're going to try and make him an expert at something, which will be driving around in circles. Doesn't sound that hard. Surely it can't be that hard. But yeah, SRI is the sponsor that you start out with. I'm not sure if it's different for different career modes. If I ever do another restart of a career mode, I will check. But we have to go with 78, because that's been my my number throughout my personal life. 78 or 87, but they don't have 87, so that's what we're going with. Just matching up the colors for the driver's suit. There's actually a surprisingly good amount of customization between the car and the driver's suit and everything, and we're heading straight into our first race weekend. Now, we're going to do 2 races an episode. Might be a little bit long, but, you know, I myself like making longer videos, so I guess give me feedback in the comments if you like it, don't like it, what can I improve on? I'm always open to improvement, of course, constructive criticism.
3 wide.
So this is practice. We're getting, we actually did a run before this, but it was all by myself, and didn't get a very good run. And this is when we're already at 35 on the draft, and you're still having to let off so much into the corners that the car pushes up so much. It's really difficult, and more difficult than it seems, to keep the car on the bottom of the track. And the only reason that I'm in cockpit view, like normally I'll do roof cam, but the reason I'm in cockpit view is because I have to see my wheel to make sure I know how much I'm turning into the corner, because I'm playing on controller, so it's very hard to tell how much I'm turning, how much I need to turn, if I'm letting off the gas at the right place. That's why I'm on the cockpit cam. So we're in qualifying here, not expecting too much. You know, the draft is the great equalizer, especially in this game, is what I'm learning. We get it fired up. We come to the line to start our lap. And I keep it on the bottom as best as I can, and honestly, it's a pretty good lap, all things considered. But, you know, we're in the worst car in the field, no upgrades at all, and dead last in 40th.
Solid run out there. You did your best. We'll get you ready to charge.
Not really a surprise, to be honest with you. Lawless Allen on pole. Still a shame he didn't get to finish out his entire season. And there's the rest of your top finishers. You can pause and look at them if you want, but not a lot of surprises at the front. I don't think Patrick Starpoli even made a super speedway start this year outside of like Atlanta and Xfinity, so I don't know why he's here. But we're all the way at the bottom, right behind Rita Goulet and D.L. Wilson. So, like I said, this car basically has no upgrades on it at all. And you'd think that would make it difficult to move up through the pack, but it really isn't. The difficult thing is to not have a skill issue, you know, going down into
the green flag. One inside.
And you'll see that. It happens to me quite frequently. Now, if you'll notice here, as we're coming across the line, you'll see lap 1 of 6. Lap 1 of 6. So, I meant to do 25% race length, so we had to back out, go back in, we keep our qualifying position in 40th. Actually, topped the charts in practice, but that was only because I got a mega draft down the front stretch. But we go back in,
be ready.
And if you're wondering, of course, as I mentioned before, it's 101 AI difficulty.
Inside.
Draft effects at 35, race length at 25%, and tire and fuel wear is at ×2 for me, and I believe 70-something, 75%. Already a little bit of smoke up ahead of us here. This is only on lap 1 down into turn 3. The AI aggression is very high on super speedways, and you'll see that. I cannot remember what the incident frequency is on, but it's pretty close to half, just because I don't want like 30 wrecks happening. Like I've seen it happen to other streamers and YouTubers and stuff where they just keep on wrecking. So right here, get a big run to the back end of Rita Goulet, get a little bit loose. Didn't really know where to take that run. We get another run out of turn 2.
One high.
Down the back stretch, take it to the back of the 31 this time.
Car low.
kind of do the same thing, but this time end up getting shot through the middle. And now we're starting to make up a little bit of ground.
Clear high.
But the AI tire wear is pretty close to a 70%, which makes it very close to what we have. So you'll see them have to pit when we have to pit and stuff like that. Right here, try to go 3 wide on Eric Johnson Jr. We get a little bit of help from behind, but not enough for us to clear the 5 car.
Stay high.
You can see he ends up pulling back to our inside and passing us. And now we're getting very close to the back end. Is this the 17 car or the 71? This is the 71 of Kyle Keller.
Stay low.
Get by
Clear
him.
high if you want it.
And we're almost up inside the top 30. The goal, I believe, is, yes, it says in the bottom right there, so we want a top 35 finish. After contact with Jackson McLaren, he tries to block us there. Kind of sacked us up, knocked us out of the groove. Tried to block us. We go to the top side, no help, but now we get some help with Rita Goulet, and he just decides to ditch us. Puts me 3 wide on the outside, managed to clear to the bottom. Not happy about that. A little breakaway from the pack behind us. There's about 5 cars all by themselves behind us. And for the first time all race, we go to the inside of Sebastian Falcon. Or Sebastian Falcone, however you pronounce it, and break into the top 30 for the first time today.
Clear low if you want it. Car inside.
Get a lot of help through the corner, starting to get just a little sniff of draft, and then here comes Brayton Laster. Being the absolute GOAT he is, giving me a massive draft down the front stretch. Kind of let him go to the top side behind Tanner Reif.
Driver, that was your best lap ever.
Get our best lap of the race. Pull up behind Tanner Reif, and here you can already see we have some aero damage on the front. I can't really see it from where I'm looking at right now, but it looks like it says 97%, something like that, which is not great. But, you know, it could be worse.
Stay high.
And we're almost up inside the top 25 here in 26th position.
Clear, clear.
Make a little bit of a late move there. Almost turned myself off the front end of whoever that Ford is behind us. And now we're up inside the top 20 for the first time today. And look in the mirror. Zachary Tinkle gives me a push down the backstretch and just decides to go 3 wide on me. Don't really know why he did that. That was kind of a dipshit move, if I'm being honest. Kind of a crazy thing to do to a guy down the backstretch at Daytona, but, you know, is what it is.
Car outside.
Getting a huge push down the front stretch by AJ Moyer. And then right here, get kind of crossed up. Managed to save the car somehow. I honestly don't know how I kept that car straight.
Inside now.
Probably because the tires were still in good condition.
Clear bottom.
But, you know, we make it to halfway, or just before halfway, and then Isabella Robusto just decides to kind of shove her way to the bottom there. Late block, I say, no, that's not happening.
3 wide.
Go to the middle, and despite nearly being turned by him the lap before, AJ Moyer going to give me a huge push down the front, or down the back stretch into turn 3. Allows me to get by the 55 car. He ends up going to the top, and we stay to the bottom. We're in 11th here, trying to break into the top 10 for the first time. Just past the halfway mark.
Clear high.
Right up behind Alex Clubb, and we're into P10 for a second.
Inside.
And then the 76 comes back down to the bottom, getting into the side of the 76 just a little bit. Can't really tell where my line is here. Where my lane is, rather. Now I'm to the middle. Alex Clubb tries to make it 3 wide for a second. Now we're in the middle of 3 wide again. Up behind the GOAT, the ARCA GOAT, Brad Smith, all the way up in the 7th spot. Very impressive for him.
Car low. Clear
and I'm hearing clear low from my spotter. I honestly can't trust this guy at all. But this time he was correct. I was clear low.
3 wide.
And just like that, we're up into the 8th spot. And now the 7th spot, making up some pretty good ground.
Outside.
And coming on to lap 14 here, you start to see the first couple of people peel off and pit. We still have 3 laps of fuel left. Right up behind Brad Smith. That was The 35, I believe. Real ARCA Daytona winner, Greg Van Alst pitting with a couple others. And coming off turn number 4, same lap, go to the bottom of Brad Smith, get hooked by Steve Lewis, and then get hooked again by Steve Lewis. And I'm trying to drive it through the grass here, see if I can make any spots up, and the caution comes out. I honestly thought the caution was for me, but it wasn't. Steve Lewis ended up going around behind me, causing a big-time wreck. So we take one full can of gas, no tires. No tires, just fuel.
There's the green flag. Car outside.
We actually don't need tires this time. And back at it. You can see the rear end has some damage now.
One high.
We're already on 3 laps to go.
Outside
coming down the front stretch, coming to 2 to go. Caleb Costner tries to block me late. I end up getting to his inside. And then this is coming down into turn 3 on the same lap. Get up behind Alex Clubb. Have to let off the gas a little bit. Push up the racetrack. End up getting stuck in the middle. Somehow still clear. Driving all over the place. And they end up wrecking behind me. Indirectly caused by me. Driving up the track there. But you know, I'm a rookie. UISA is a rookie. Can't expect the best of them. Well, you can, but you'll be sorely disappointed. So we're coming back to the green flag for the first attempt at overtime.
2 to go this time now.
Coming down the back stretch. We're almost back up inside the top 10.
Clear inside.
Kyle Keller pulls a late block on me. Honestly, there wasn't really a gap there. I was just trying to go for anything possible. Coming out of 4, though, go to the outside, getting a huge push from Dale Quarterly to the outside of Jake Bowman, and now we're up into the 13th spot. Now we're making some momentum. Potentially a top 10 in hand, go to the outside. I think that's the best move and end up getting into the wall, losing all of my momentum, get turned again by Caleb Costner.
Inside now.
Going up the track here, I'm just trying to salvage anything that I can, drive down the track a little bit, get into the side of Jake Finch. Coming down the backstretch here, just trying to salvage a top 20 at this point. Get another great draft from Brayton Laster. Go up the middle, 3 wide behind Tyler Reif.
One outside.
And clear inside. Go to the bottom. Once again up behind Kyle Keller. Give him a little bit of a shot. Try to get to the inside of him. And coming back to the start-finish line, I try to push them up the track, and we manage a top 15 finish in the 14th spot. Meeting our top 35 goal. Greg Van Alst taking the checkered flag for his second win at Daytona in a number of years. Jason Kitzmiller second. AJ Moyer nearly turned me in third. Kyle Steckley fourth. Isabella Robusto with a top 5. Great finishes for all those guys. Brad Smith with a top 10. Same with D.L. Wilson and Jackson McLaren, who started all the way out back with me. Some great finishes by all of those guys up front, and then there's the rest of your top 20. Cole Raz just outside the top 10. Same with Takuma Koga, Dale Quarterly, me, Kyle Keller, Tyler Reif, Brayton Laster, Jake Finch, Becca Monopoly, and Will Kimmel, all up inside the top 20. Pretty impressive for guys, or gals I should say, like Becca Monopoly, who really does not have a great driver rating at all in this game. So pretty impressive for that 85 car to be up there. And here's a look back at some of the stuff that happened. We didn't catch this initially, but it happened in my rear view. Amber Balkan doing Amber Balkan things, almost getting turned. That was pretty early on into the race. Here we come out of turn 4, down the front stretch. A little bit of contact with the 55 car. We all get checked up. We're all pushing each other. I get up the track just a little bit and get turned by the 88. Save the race car. And then this is coming down the front stretch. Get turned. There's Steve Lewis in the 62 getting into the outside wall. Getting a little bit of the Android super zoom there. Shout out to Tokar. Right there, just get turned. Just drives right into me and then drives right into me again. I literally kept my line that entire time. He could have backed out of it, but he didn't. What a guy. Ends up wrecking himself. And then this is with 2 laps to go. I get up the racetrack just a little bit. This is totally on me here. Drive the 93 up the track. He ends up getting turned. Does a great job of saving it. But behind him, it stacks up to 73. He ends up getting turned into the outside wall. And the caution comes out for the 2nd time. This is another look at it here. Right up behind the 03 of Alex Clubb, who ended up finishing inside the top 10. Forgot to mention him. Great run for that team as well. And there you see it's just a big stack up. Turns the 73 car around, gets to the outside wall. And then this is coming back to the white flag. Right up behind Kyle Keller. Great opportunity. Had a great finish here. I get a huge push from Dale Quarterly down the front stretch. Get around Jake Bowman in the 19. Get down to the bottom. Right up behind Isabella Robusto. Get a good run on her as well. I see the guys fading up to the top. And I tried to go with the 76, but I guess I just didn't know where the right side of my car was. And I ended up getting clipped by the 93 there. He really had nowhere to go. And right there, I did kind of screw over the 25 car there, but it's all for a spot. And there is how close it was for the 14th spot, a photo finish with Jake Bowman at the line, 3 wide with Kyle Keller as well. And Kyle, honestly, unsurprisingly, wasn't too happy with me after the race. Shout out to Matt Weaver of Sportsnaut article, I believe. I'll correct it if I'm wrong there. But Matt Weaver shouting me out. Appreciate that, Matt. Kyle Keller. Two passive-aggressive tweets. You can read him there on the track, calling my move gross, which, you know, he's not too far off, but still hurts to see that, our first race, you know. And here is essentially just me going through all the garage things that you can do. So it explains rep points. So essentially you drive clean, you get better rep points. If you run into people, you lose rep points, essentially. So, and you can buy stuff with the credits that you get. Obviously, we got just over 2,000 credits, I think, for finishing 14th at Daytona, which is kind of crazy, but it's not far off real life, unfortunately. So we end up getting a new chassis adjustment, a level 3 chassis, heading into Phoenix, our second race weekend. And there's your drivers to watch, and they were not lying. We'll get to it in a second, but those 3 were up front all night long. So in practice here, I'm just trying to feel it out, feel what the car's doing, and almost take out the 76 of Cole Raz there completely, and just sending it as far into the corners as possible. I'm coming down the front stretch here, just trying to block the 48 and 19 in my rear view.
Clear outside.
48 gets to my inside. End up getting a little bit of damage on the right rear. Car kind of overreacted and fixed itself. Look at that. Even the car knew it overreacted there. But at this point, I'm going, oh god, this is going to be terrible. I'm not going to make it into the top 35 at all. And almost take out Jake Bowman there again. But the car was seriously driving absolutely terrible. I don't know why. I was on neutral setup.
One on the bottom.
And I run into Takuma Koga there, but you can see it just gets so tight, and then you drive down the racetrack and it gets loose. And now I'm 25% loose because I'm like, the car is not turning. And I end up 40th in practice, dead last. What a surprise. Not great. But it is what it is. We go out for qualifying on the 25% loose setup. And the goal is to finish top 35.
Okay, this lap
come to the line. Gonna show most of the entire thing here because it is a pretty cool lap. Brake a little bit early, but that's kind of what I have to do. Keep it right below the single yellow line. That's not a double yellow. Go all the way up the track to the wall. Out of 2, down into 3. Braked at the perfect time there. Keep it right pinned down to the yellow line and then slide up the track back to the start-finish line. And we meet our goal, a solid 34th qualifying position of 40. And William Sawalich, surprise, surprise, takes the pole over Brennan Queen and Tyler Reif. The 3 cars that they said to watch, and we're watching them, and they're all on pole. And Kyle Keller, impressive 9th 9th starting position there. Not too shabby. We beat out 6 other cars, including Will Kimmel, Becca Monopoly, and Alex Quarterly. I believe either the son or brother of Dale Quarterly. So I decided to change the setup from loose until tight, because I had a feeling that, you know, once you start to get laps on the tight setup, it's not that bad because it starts to actually turn better. But before then, it's a bit of a pain to drive. And you'll notice something here. Because I don't have the engine upgrade at all, it's really bad on the straightaways. I get absolutely trounced. But then through the center of the corner, especially in turn 2, the car just hooks up and you're able to make up a ton of spot. Or a ton of ground on these drivers.
Outside now.
So the goal here, sponsor goal, is just to finish top 35. I'm like, I don't think this is going to be too hard of a challenge, you know. I just have to keep it up inside the top 35, and qualifying there obviously made that goal a whole lot easier.
Outside.
Which is good for me. I'm driving it in there on the bottom. Kind of chopped the nose off the 69 car there a bit, but I don't feel too bad. Down the backstretch. This is the first of the Omega Sens. That one I actually had down, and I was to the inside of Jackson McLaren, but he just decided to drive down on me anyway, because why not? And then we start to have a very nice little battle here with Presley Sora and Jake Bowman. Both of these guys battle with throughout the the early portion of this race. And it was honestly a great battle between everybody here. But down into 3, we send it in on Presley Sora right to the outside. You can see turn 3 and 4 don't roll quite as nicely as turn 2 does, but we can still make up a little bit of ground on the outside. Get pretty close there to Jake Bowman. Now here, I'm going to send it to the inside. That one was a little bit opportunistic, but things must be done to keep a top 35 in check.
Clear up top.
We get pretty close there to Jake Bowman. No big deal, though. Managed to clear him down into 2, and you can see they shoot by me under the braking zone, but then right through the middle of the corner, I just gained so much, and I'm able to get right up behind him again. And the draft right there is the only thing that's really keeping me close to the bottom of the 19. And right here, I kind of run him up the track a little bit more contact, but Rubbin's racing, no harm, no foul.
Clear high.
Great side-by-side battle here with Jake Bowman. And even though it is going in a very oddly shaped circle, these are the things that make driving for a top 35 enjoyable. When you can have a great little battle, great little side-by-side battle between these two people. And have fun with it, you know.
Car outside.
Right there, that was very opportunistic. I don't know what I was doing with that one.
One inside.
Ended up almost wrecking the guy. Almost getting into the wall, but he gets back to my inside. Obviously going to shoot right by me down the straightaway. And then right here, we kind of break in the same spot this time. This time I'm able to get on the gas a lot sooner. Get really close to the rear end. Try the switch back out of the corner, but not going to have enough of a run out of the corner to get by him. And then right here, going to shoot to the outside. Very opportunistic once again.
Clear inside.
Giving it my all into the corner and end up losing a little bit of time there. Not the greatest idea.
Carlo.
Jake Bowman ends up passing Presley Sora, so now we're in a battle for 32nd with Sora, and he comes up the racetrack, just blocks me and puts me in the wall. Not cool. So right here, you know, I'm not too happy with the guy. Go to the outside of him. Now you can see I'm starting to roll. Turn 3 and 4 a little bit better. Can get to the outside of him, but they're still much faster than me on the straightaway. And another interesting thing here, you're going to have to take my word for this, but the AI drop-off is very close. So that essentially means that the guys up front will be almost as fast as the guys out back. So we're essentially racing. The reason we're having such good battles is because they are closer together. However, the guys at the front obviously will be lapping us very soon here because they're in much better equipment than everybody else. You know, driver ratings are still a thing, so it kind of balances out. But we're still locked in a heated battle here for 32nd with Presley Sora. Huge roll around the outside, out of turn 2.
Clear low.
Can barely not get there, get a little bit of a check to the back end of the 66 car there.
One low.
Right here, rolling it once again, great. Through turn 3, he tries to do the same thing he did before, but this time we get to the side of him. And we actually kind of keep
Still
on his door here. A little bit of side drafting going on.
Clear all around.
And then right here, we're able to get
now.
into the gas and just ride around the outside of him. Finally make up the position to 32nd.
Still there.
Not quite clear of him yet, but we will be
Clear
here
inside.
into turn 3. Now setting our sights on potentially a top 30, which at the beginning of this race, I was figuring, you know, I'm going to be in 35th the entire night and be lucky if I keep it in the top 35. But now, as the run's going on, whether
outside.
due to increased tire wear or not,
Clear low if you want
I'm managing to stay with these guys a lot better.
Car
So now we
outside.
got the leader,
Clear
the
outside.
18, right up behind us. We clip the inside wall, shove the 19 up the track.
You're
That
all
causes the leader, the 18 of Sawalich, to slow up, and Tyler Reif actually takes the lead
outside.
away from William
now.
Sawalich, and
Clear,
Sawalich ends
clear.
up getting passed by Brendan
outside.
Queen as well.
3 wide.
So we end up
Car
just
outside.
screwing him here, and then we're 3 wide with the 18 and the 19. Now here
Car
comes
outside.
Wallace Allen right up behind the 18 as well. Trying to get up behind him, and
3
just
wide.
drives into me in the corner. Come on, Lawless, I'm a fan, man. You can't be driving into me like that.
Clear outside. Car outside.
And
Halfway
now
home,
we
driver.
are inside the top 30, battling for 29th. We're in the 20s now. Great run here, considering how bad our car
Stay low.
is. And we're to the inside of Nate Moeller,
Clear
or
up top.
Moeller, or however you say that. And I see Caleb Costner, an old friend from Daytona, right up in front of me.
Inside.
Getting lapped by Patrick Starpoli to my inside here.
Clear.
And Caleb Costner for the 28th spot, get right up behind him.
1 outside.
And managed to get to the inside of him into turn
Clear high.
1 and 2.
Car inside.
And right
Inside.
here, I had to let off the gas just a little bit so I don't get it as good of
Inside
a run
door.
as I normally would.
Clear inside.
I cut back to the inside,
Clear
obviously
outside.
not going to get the run because it's a straightaway.
One
Right
up
here,
high.
going to send it deep.
Clear outside.
This time we don't hit the inside wall. We actually make it pretty cleanly. The rear end starts to kick out just a bit. And that's because our tires are wearing out. We will need 1 pit stop here, but it's going to come a little bit later. So, right up behind us
One
now
high.
is
Inside now.
the
Clear high.
13, I think? Is it the
Clear
13?
low
No,
if
it's
you
the
want
71. So Kyle Keller, who wasn't too happy with me
Car low.
after Daytona.
Clear low if
Having
you
a great
want.
run, though, up inside the top 10. Managed to pass Caleb
Clear
Costner
low.
for the 28th spot. Highest we've been all night. But the car is starting to get really, really loose now. Despite it being on a
Inside now.
neutral setup, the car is getting loose. It's getting real loose. So I'm
Clear
thinking
inside.
I want to push it to 10 laps to go, and then I'll be happy with pitting. Right here, I just kind of send it too far into the corner, get into the outside wall. No harm, no foul. Keep on going. A little bit of harm, a little
Bring
bit
it
of
around
foul.
the right. Let us know what adjustments you need.
And now with 10 to go, right here, I decide to take half a can, 2 right sides. Now check this out. No repair on the damage because I don't really need to.
Bring it in
And
this lap,
wedge,
bud.
keep it the same because I like how it goes. But here I hit B instead of A. So right here, notice how it says no tires. I meant to take 2 rights, and I did not realize that I backed out by accident. So I'm coming in thinking I'm going to get 2 right side tires. I'm going to be much faster than a couple of the guys coming out. Even if I come out outside the top 35, I'm going to manage to pass a bunch of them and get back up to the front. And instead, we
Stay
get
on
a
your
super
line here.
quick stop, get passed by a bunch of guys. We're up into 37. lost almost 10 positions on pit road, even though we only took half a can of gas. But at this point, I'm like, okay, the car didn't turn too well, but maybe that's just because the left sides are still bad. And now I'm trying to see who's in front of me, because I'm 10 positions down from where I was. Ed Pompa in the 10. That's that white and orange car ahead of me. A couple cars still yet to pit.
Car outside.
And right here, I send it really deep on Ed Pompa. Gets sideways, completely sideways. Managed to save it, though. Front end arrow completely gone. 5 to go. And at this point, I check. I do a double take, and look at that. 47% on the right front tire. That is not good, and now I know I'm absolutely screwed. I can't make another pit stop. I end up getting by the 10 car, but that's only because he's on even worse tires than I am, I'm pretty sure. I get all the way up into the outside wall. At this point, I'm just trying to hold on to it here. I'm thinking, can I make it another 6 laps? No, probably not. Another 7 laps, excuse me. Probably not. See, Brad Smith sends one around the outside of me. Ed Pompa goes into the pits behind me. A couple of cars pitting. Now we're up inside the top 36. Brad Smith passed me for position. And right here, coming down the back stretch, we're in the 34th spot.
Clear low if you want it.
5 laps to go, or 4.5, whatever you want to call it. We go to the back of Rita Goulet. Send it in there pretty good. The rear end starts to come out from underneath me. I try and try and try to save it, try to drive it. Nothing. Hard into the inside wall with 2 laps to go, and the caution comes out.
Pit road's open this time. If you
now here, of course, I'm going to pit. I have nothing to lose. I'm going to be dead last anyway. My strategy is to take 4 tires, don't repair the damage, because it doesn't really matter. Phoenix isn't a really aero-sensitive track.
Coming to the green.
And we come back to the green. Second overtime in 2 races, both caused by me, technically. Not great, but, you know, we're still improving. This is my first time playing a career mode like this in a NASCAR game. So we start dead last of everybody, but a couple of these guys in front are 3 laps down as opposed to 2.
3 wide.
So I'm thinking if I repair damage, I would have been on the same strategy. Like, I would have been 3 laps down. We got Lawless Allen here, who somehow is behind everybody, despite being in 8th. I'm guessing he sped on pit road or something. Had to start from the rear of the field. So we're in the top 35 right here. I'm like, I can get a couple more spots. Send it into the corner. Get into Becca Monopoly a little bit. Into the 33rd spot. We got Steve Lewis, who turned me last race. Right up in front of us. Still in the 33rd position.
They're outside.
Now in 32nd, we clear for another spot. Now I'm thinking, can I finish in the top 30? Is it too risky?
1 high.
Absolutely not.
Outside door.
Right up behind the 62.
1 high.
Try to make my move up through the middle.
3 wide.
Into 30th. Coming back to the line. Can we get the top 30? Photo finish for the 2nd race in a row. We meet our goal, and we finish inside the top 30, barely. And honestly, a great comeback there. I am pretty proud of that one, despite finishing 2 laps off the pace. So Tyler Reif takes home the checkered flag, mostly because of me. Trevor Huddleston with a 3rd spot. 2nd straight top 5 for Isabella Robusto. Zach Tinkle into the top 10. Pretty crazy there. Kyle Keller gets a well-deserved top 10. Same with Tanner Reif. So both Reif brothers in the top 10. LeVar Scott just outside the top 10. Andy J, excuse me, in 12th. And there you see the rest of the drivers in the top 20. DL Wilson with his 2nd straight top 20. Ryan Roulette in the top 20 as well. Pretty good run for him. And now here's a look at the replay. So this is pretty early on. Get into the back of the 66 there. Get up the racetrack into the wall. The start of many impacts into the outside wall there in turn 3 and 4. Here we're on the outside of Presley Sora, making up ground. Very close to each other down the back stretch. Getting the draft from the 19 car, managing to pass him, clearing up into the 32nd spot. And then cutting to the bottom of Jake Bowman. Had a great little battle with the 19 and 66 cars. He shoots around the outside of me, but I have the better mid-corner speed. Get to the outside of him. Not quite enough of a run. And then right here, William Sawalich right up behind me. I send it in there, clip the inside wall, just like Austin Hill earlier this year at Phoenix in the Xfinity Series. And here's another look at it. William Sawalich trying to get by me. He's in the lead at this point. This kind of screwed his race, but I don't feel bad. You know, William Sawalich is driving for JGR. And get into the inside wall, pushes him up the track. Jake Bowman, that slows up the 18, and Tyler Reif with clear track. Well, almost clear track. I kind of get in front of him here, but he manages to pass me, and that ends up winning him the race. Straight up. And then this is with struggling on old worn tires, getting up into the outside wall. And then this is our contact here with Ed Pompa, sending it way too far into the corner, getting into him a little bit. That sends my car completely sideways, dog tracking it, somehow holding on. Another look at it there, get into the rear end. It's completely sideways. And then this is me getting very sideways the lap before I end up going around, which is right here. The final caution. Send it deep into the corner. And the rear end just gets out from underneath me. End up going around hard into the inside wall. Brings out the caution. But we manage a top 30. And that's how close it was between me and Steve Lewis, who wrecked me at Daytona. Potentially a little rivalry going on here. Anyways, guys, that'll be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I'm up for any, constructive criticism on how this series, how you want the series to go and stuff like that. So let me know down in the comments below if you want to see anything different. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.